Good morning and welcome to First Parish. My name is Ann Mason and I am delighted to welcome you to worship this morning. This morning we welcome our Minister Emerita, the Reverend Helen Lutton Cohen, to our pulpit. We are so grateful for her presence in our lives and for her preaching this morning. Immediately after the service, the Finance Committee will be presenting the proposed 2021-22 budget. You are invited to stay in the main Zoom room if you want to attend the presentation and hear a discussion of the proposal. Next Sunday after church, we will hold our semi-annual meeting to vote on the budget, to elect officers, and to vote on whether First Parish will adopt the 8th principle. Today, the Racial Justice team will host their final session of the UUA Common Read discussion book, Breathe, A Letter to My Sons, by Imani Perry. It's today at 2 o'clock. And starting next week, in partnership with the New Legacy Cultural Center, First Parish will host in-person Tai Chi classes from 8:30 to 10 a.m. Registration and more information can be found on fplex.org under upcoming events. And now, relax and listen to our music for centering, which is the Andante by Mozart from the Horn Concerto No. 2 in E-flat, performed by Eric Svensson.
Thank you, Eric and Rip. The opening words this morning are from Kalidasa, a 3rd century Hindu poet and priest. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and the realities of our existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. And now the introit will be Lift Thine Eyes from Elijah by Felix Mendelssohn, sung by Elizabeth Yass, Liz Sevier, and Tony Tasker.
Lift thine eyes, oh, lift thine eyes to the mountains, whence cometh, whence cometh, whence cometh help. Thy help cometh, thy help cometh from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He has said, thy foot shall not be moved. Thy keeper will never slumber, will never slumber. Lift thine eyes, oh, lift thine eyes to the mountains, whence cometh help, whence cometh help.
77 years ago, at this hour, British, Canadian, and U.S. soldiers were fighting and dying on the beaches of Normandy. The world held its breath, waiting to see if the forces of fascism could be overcome. The people of our country were united in this effort to save the world's democracies. However, to misquote Abraham Lincoln, now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether this nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all people are created equal, can long endure. How do we fight today against anti-democratic forces, ideas, policies, laws, when they are promulgated by our own countrymen and women? What precedent do we look to for guidance? What are the rules? What must we now sacrifice to create a more perfect union? I light our chalice this morning with the hope that we may have the wisdom and the strength to engage in the struggle to maintain the ideals of our country's foundational documents and the fifth principle of Unitarian Universalism, the use of the democratic process within our congregations and in society at large.
Let us now join in our opening hymn, number 115, God of Grace and God of Glory, with its wonderful line, bound as one beyond division in the struggle to be free.
Crown thy
Today, we will be saying goodbye to our Director of Religious Education and Family Ministry, who has served this congregation for 6 years. Lisa Maria, we all wish you well, and we are grateful for the work that you have done for us. And now let us see the thanks and the memories that have been recorded by the families of First Parish.
Thank you, Lisa Maria, for all you've done for us. We will miss you. Good luck.
Lisa Maria, I want to thank you for all the energy and passion that you brought to our religious education program. I want to thank you for giving me your grandmother's marinated mushroom recipe, which I serve at all of my wine tastings. I want to wish you the best of luck at the Bedford Church, and I look forward to following you and your family and all the amazing food that you cook on Facebook. Take care.
Thank you, Lisa Maria, for doing junior high youth group. I really appreciate everything you've done, and I'm really going to miss you when you leave.
I didn't get to know you very much, but at First Parish, but I did get to know you. It's very nice to meet you and see you on Zoom for during the church service, and get to talk to you during church service in person when it was at the church. I don't know what else to say, but have fun with your children and whatever else you do for the summer. Gonna miss you. Thank you.
Hi, Lisa Maria. I had so much fun at youth group, and I really look forward to playing Among Us and the drawing game. I forget the name. But yeah, I hope you have lots of fun in the future.
Lisa Maria, I wanted to thank you for getting our Tuesday night group together. You planned it so well and encouraged humor, depth, and compassion for ourselves. You are a skillful leader. Thank you, and we will miss you.
Hi, Lisa Maria. We just want to send you a quick video to say thank you for all you've done at First Parish.
Thank you for the cooking class. Thank you for the stories at the time of all ages.
And thank you for all the creative services, including the Christmas pageant.
We wish you the best of luck in your next endeavor. Buona fortuna!
Thank you so much for the parables you've given us each Sunday as you read stories to us. I've learned a great deal from them, and they've been very meaningful for me. Also, thank you so much for the close work and collaboration you've done with the Members and Friends Committee, keeping us up to date about parents and children in the RE program. Very best wishes to you as you open the door and go through the doorway to the new opportunities that await you. I will always remember your energy and your talents and skills and personality at First Parish. I'm sure you'll bring all of that with you. Take care, bye-bye, and good luck.
Lisa Maria, thank you for the session about parenting and sexual educators. Alex will benefit immensely from it one day. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Lisa Maria, thanks so much for your commitment to UU values and for getting us out of our heads and into our right side of our brain with your creativity, imagination, and phenomenal art. All the best.
Hi, Lisa Maria. It's Connie. I just wanted to say thank you for always having a sense of humor and a lot of energy for our conversations and our workshops together. My family has always appreciated the books and stories that you share during service, and we really appreciate that you always have made us feel like a welcome part of the community. So thank you. We wish you all the best in your future, and we'll miss you. Bye.
Hi, Lisa Maria. I want to thank you for all you've done for First Parish in Lexington and for our youth. It's been such a pleasure working with you. And I wish you all the best in your new job up the road. I'm sure we'll see each other again sometime in the future.
Hi, Lisa Maria. It's Caroline and Cecilia here, and we're here to show our appreciation for you.
We always love how you welcome us into the church with a big smile on your face, and you make us feel really welcome, and you always greet us so friendly.
And how you always have positive energy coming towards the church during the service, and it makes us kids feel a little more good watching church.
Thank you so much, and we wish you luck in your next endeavor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa Maria, thank you for your energy, your music, your love of telling stories to the whole congregation intergenerationally, for pushing us to think about new and different ways to meet the needs of our modern families and how to meet the needs of the parents as well as the children and everything in between. We're going to miss your energy and glad you're going to be right next door. Thanks.
Hi, Lisa Maria. Thank you for reading those stories at church, because those are the things that I was looking forward to the most.
Lisa Maria, the Taibbi family wishes you the best of luck in your new, exciting chapter. We really have appreciated all the support you've given our family over the years and all the different challenges that we've had. Thank you so much.
Lisa Maria, I'm gonna miss you so much. You've always been there for me to give me funny advice, but like good advice. And thank you for showing me pictures of your wedding dress. That was nice.
Hi, Lisa Maria. Thank you for our starter. We haven't named it yet, but it's still alive, thankfully. And thank you for always taking my really long calls asking about like bread facts. So yeah, good luck.
Ciao Lisa Maria, grazie mille per tutto quello che hai fatto per la nostra famiglia. Ti auguro un mondo di bene, un bocca al lupo e restiamo in contatto anche su Instagram. Ciao.
Hi, Lisa Maria.
Hi, Lisa Maria.
Wanted to say thanks for all your wonderful work on Voices on the Green. In specific, you made the children's program something we could all be proud of, and it made all of their families happy. You were wonderful. Thank you very much.
And you told a great story yourself on Voices. And speaking of storytelling, I think you have always done a terrific job with stories during the service. I think you have a real talent. Best of luck for both of us on your new adventure.
Hi, Lisa Maria. I wish you all the luck in the world, and thank you for all the wonderful work you did at the First Parish Church. I always loved your Sunday services and stories. I'll miss you and hope to see you soon.
Hi, Lisa Maria. Thank you so much for loving the children and families at First Parish.
Thank you for all your great support with the parents and the great parent meetings.
Thank you for your great stories.
Lisa Maria, we appreciate many things about you. I appreciate your warm and welcoming smile.
I really appreciate how you've inspired a young generation of activists.
And I appreciate your dedication.
Thank you.
We'll miss you. Take care.
Bye.
Hi, Lisa Maria. Thank you so much, and bon voyage.
Lisa Maria, I've really enjoyed your ministry at First Parish. Thank you so much. Bye.
Anne texted me this morning and asked if she should invite me to speak after the video, and I should have said yes because I think I need a moment. That's one of the most beautiful things I've had in my career, and thank you all for taking time to make the videos and send the letters in, and whoever did the production on that, like, beautiful. It was just exquisite. And I'm very touched by messages, phone calls I've gotten from so many people over the past few months, and I'm going to miss you all. And I will be just up the road in Bedford. I'm looking forward to my next chapter and moving on to a larger congregation at this stage in my career. And I have this amazing neon chalice to take with me, and it's so fantastic. And I also have been told that there's another gift waiting for me in Lexington when I go in this week, of a bracelet that says difference maker on it. That's all I've ever wanted to do in my ministry, is to make a difference. And I look forward to receiving that bracelet and wearing it. Children and I are very excited about the wonderful cupcakes, and thank you all for your trust and your fun, laughter, and joyfulness. Thank you for sharing your lives with me these past 6 years. And I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors with your next religious educator, and blessings be on all of you. Thank you.
I know I speak for the whole congregation when I say thank you, Lisa Maria, and we send our love. Let us now speak together the words of our affirmation of faith, that we may be reminded of how we will move through this world together. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. This is the time in our service when we take a moment to reflect on what this church means to us and how we can support its mission. You may make your donations using the information on the screen or in the chat. The offertory this morning is Sicut Cervus, performed by Rip Jackson, David Meharry, and Jamie Willis.
Sicut Cervus, desiderat, ad fontes aquarum, ita desiderat anima mea, a te Deus. Dei fuerunt mihi lacrimae Anesti et ad nocte dum dicitur mihi per singulos dies ubi est Deus
Lisa Maria, I thank you too for all the skills, the stories, the caring, the energy, the vision, and the wonderful family that you have shared with us over these 6 years. We'll miss you. It's such a privilege and a pleasure to be here in the sanctuary with today's other service participants to welcome you to this morning's service. I, like you, have been coming to our services on Zoom for the last year and a half, and I very much look forward to when we can all be here in the sanctuary, when we have the proper electrification and ventilation made possible by our successful Basic Capital campaign. We celebrated this bright future yesterday at a wonderful garden party, and thank you to all those who made that happen. And imagine the celebration when we're all gathered here for worship. I am Helen Cohen. I served this congregation as minister from 1980 until retirement in 2002. And after a dozen years of worshiping in other churches, my husband Don and I were delighted to return home. We are deeply grateful for the gracious welcome and support we have received from our minister, the Reverend Ann Mason. And we have so much appreciated Ann's ministry during this difficult year, the year of pandemic, when we've been physically isolated from each other, and the year of an election in which political, racial, social, and cultural issues have been exposed and seem to have deepened the painful divisions within our country. Where is our e pluribus unum? Where is our liberty and justice for all? As you know, the National Unitarian Universalist Association is addressing the issue of our divisions with a proposal for an 8th principle, adding to the 7 that our movement has approved with very much nationwide discussion over many years. The 8th principle declares, "We, the member congregations of the Unitarian Universalist Association, covenant to affirm and promote journeying towards spiritual wholeness by working to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community by our actions that accountably dismantle racism and other oppressions in ourselves and our institutions." First Parish has had a variety of discussions about the eighth principle, including a workshop and worship weekend with Paula Cole Jones, a lifelong African-American Unitarian Universalist and a leader of the group which created this principle. And next Sunday, June 13th, we will be voting at our annual meeting after church on whether to direct our delegates to the National General Assembly to support the adoption of this principle. This morning, I want to share thoughts about this principle based on my personal experience of 78 years of Unitarian Universalism as a child and a youth, a minister, and a congregant. I want to explain why, for me, this principle is a soul matter, S-O-U-L. It is a soul matter that calls us not just toward our better selves, but toward our own more whole and fulfilled selves. My annual sermon last year was an early reaction to the way that divisions were exposed and intensified by the pandemic and the election. I explained that my intense distress over the situation was partly conditioned by my childhood and youth in Cincinnati, Ohio. My parents, a Presbyterian and a Methodist by birth, had joined the First Unitarian Church there for two reasons: its embrace of reason and science, and for its commitment to racial justice. Our church was as integrated as any religious institution at the time in Cincinnati. 6 African-American families amidst probably 80 or more white families. 11 o'clock Sunday morning is still the most segregated hour of the week. Our director of religious education and my youth advisor for 4 years were African Americans. Our ministers preached the cause of justice for blacks frequently. It was the civil rights era. When did that end? At 15, my goal in life was to become a Jesus figure who would lead the world to the end of racism. My first pull to ministry. 15 years old, I have found, is often the year of righteousness and prophecy. My ambition was ridiculously grandiose, but as I explained last year, the personal and political hunger for a just society stayed with me and make our continuing, and it seems currently intensifying, divisions so very painful. Then why in my first year of ministry here at First Parish was the sermon I preached for Martin Luther King Sunday absolutely the worst I ever preached? I wanted it to be my best, most inspiring. And I knew, even as I delivered it, how incoherent, scattered, pointless it was. I learned months later that one older member of our church, who attended his first service that I had led on Martin Luther King Sunday, had been appalled. He didn't come again until Easter Sunday, from January to April. And then he told people that he refused to believe that I had written the sermon I gave that day. He must have liked it better. My indignation at his lack of trust in me was minimized because I knew how deeply I had failed Martin Luther King. I had plenty of feelings, but no tools to help us with all the racial issues that the civil rights era had failed to improve. I believe that I and many other white people who saw last summer's tape of the murder of George Floyd and then the tape of the attack on the Capitol have been shocked into an awareness of the systemic racism in the United States that has never before so deeply disturbed the relative comfort of being white, of swimming in a white culture that we cannot see because it is us, of not realizing that we too are an ethnic group with our own group's limitation of vision. We've been called God's frozen people. Think about it. And we live too blind to the opportunities and advantages that have made our group oppressors of the people of color. I imagine that many of you have heard that the job of the church is to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. Or, put otherwise, to comfort and to challenge. I have come to know fully how white people need comfort, however much some of us try to deny it. To know that all people, including myself, endure suffering and need support. Someone or some community to be there for us. My second impulse to enter ministry came when, at the age of 31, I was president of a small Unitarian fellowship in St. Catharines, Ontario. And since we didn't have a minister, I realized that we needed someone to reach out pastorally to the members of the congregation. And so I did. The next thing I knew, I was applying to divinity school. The role of sharing the deepest sorrows and greatest joys of the people around me has been powerfully fulfilling and meaningful. I know that it is central to our work as a church. I also know that this congregation has tackled and accomplished much on critical social issues in the last few decades. The acceptance of male-female equality. You know, I was a shock to a lot of people in the church when I arrived as a female. Access for people with disabilities, the elevator, hearing assistance, large type hymnals. Inclusion of children in worship. 2 at least year-long projects to welcome and celebrate lesbian, gay, bisexual, queer, non-binary, and trans members. Hanging the rainbow flag, and then the Black Lives Matter banner. And now Anne is creating connections between First Parish and the Islamic and Asian communities of Lexington, which have grown significantly since 1980. We're going to learn a lot. I know that as individuals and small groups, people in this congregation have done and continue to do many things in our Unitarian Universalist struggle for liberty and justice for all. We have used the tools we have, protests and marches, teaching as professionals and volunteers in many integrated and predominantly Black schools and organizations, and at the UU Urban Ministry, volunteering in social systems such as Watch in Waltham, donating steadily to Black and Native American and Hispanic institutions and missions that we care for. Racial justice, climate action, the braver angels who are aimed at helping all people talk with each other across political and religious lines. But I know that Lexington still has a community which is 1.5% Black, just as it was when we arrived in 1980. And this speaks, and in fact it shouts, for the work we have yet to do. But not alone. Not as benefactors and managers. Not as directors. Not as taking on a burden. Not as fixers. But as partners with people we do not yet know. That's the challenge that makes me so grateful for the 8th principle proposal. The major significance of this principle is that the principle itself, its wording, and the process for studying it comes from people of color in our denomination. The voices that we have not been hearing clearly because of history and white culture. We're being challenged now to listen to these voices before we jump into creating remedies that might not be healthy or useful or relevant. We have been asked firmly to participate, but to be patient, even quiet, as we listen and learn. The other significant contribution that this particular proposal makes comes through a number of its key words. As many people have pointed out, this is not a stunningly elegant, poetic statement. It has not been wordsmithed to death, like so many UU statements at the congregational and national level. But let's listen to the words it contains. Journeying. It is going to take time. We will have to travel and experience more life, see new possibilities, open our hearts to strangers. We may even learn some of the reality of the stony road that people of color have trod in this country. Journeying. Spiritual wholeness. It will help our own souls grow in understanding, in depth, and in richness. Diverse multicultural community. Our nation and the world are diverse and multicultural, and we cannot participate in it fully if we continue to live almost exclusively in a white culture. Actions. We must actually do things that will help achieve our vision. We won't just sit and have faith that this vision will come to pass because humans are good. Now, we don't do that, as I said. We do lots of things. But relatively speaking, we've been sitting comfortably a long time. Accountability. We will find ways that will show that we're on the way. We don't know what they are now, but we're going to learn them together. Yes, there's much that is not clear yet. How could it be? We haven't had the necessary conversations. We haven't heard in our souls what people of color have to tell us about the impact on them of our current culture. We haven't heard what they can teach us. We haven't heard, and no one has yet said, what all of us can do together when we share our experiences, our wisdom, and our caring. We don't know what kind of tools we can create together. I know how hard such an undertaking appears to those of us who like public discourse to be polished, who want plans securely in place, who don't want to be caught off guard, who like comfort in times of suffering, but also in times that already seem comfortable to us. We are being challenged to go on an adventure that we cannot control. Many of us are busy reading books that inform us about racial history, stories of oppression, examples of successful interracial projects that point out to us some of the way forward. I want to recommend to you in particular Heather McGhee's The Sum of Us, that's S-U-M, The Sum of Us, that was published this year and recommended to me by our daughter Rebecca Benner, whom some of you know, who's a full-time homemaker as well as an ordained Unitarian Universalist minister. A book that begins to envision what we are missing because of the way we are living. She offers a carrot that will constantly nourish our journey. The key metaphor in McGhee's book is a piece of history you may have heard. In the late 1940s, 50s, and 60s, communities all around the country were developing financially. The middle class was growing immensely. The sense of optimism, in spite of the bomb, was expanding. Towns and suburbs and cities created parks, including swimming pools, to celebrate and to build fulfilling lives and to have fun together. And then came the civil rights decisions of the early 60s, requiring that these public parks and their pools be integrated. Towns and suburbs and cities all across the nation filled up their pools with cement, neglected the grass and the bushes and the trees, so that the people, i.e. the white people, would not have to swim in the same water as blacks. And so, no one, black or white, had access to a public pool. Cutting off your nose to spite your face does not go nearly enough, far enough. White people limited our own opportunities, deprived ourselves of healthy and community-building experiences as they cut off the visions of a diverse, multicultural world. I have lived a highly rich, privileged life full of wonderful people and experiences. But I know that I am less whole, less wise, less fulfilled, perhaps less joyful, because I have shared my adult life so little with black people. McGhee restores our vision, not with a stick to beat ourselves with guilt. That is finally not very effective in creating a rich and open soul, but rather the understanding of all that we could gain if we open ourselves to the world, the wide world we live in. If we listen to new voices, if we venture across new bridges, if we accept inevitable discomfort in the belief that we will indeed grow together in spirit. When I had the opportunity recently to hear a lecture about racial issues among UUs from a wise and very generous black UU minister, Mark Morrison Reed, one of the white attendees said in anguish at the end, "But we'll make mistakes." "Of course you will," he said. "Of course, we'll make mistakes." And that's really hard on us. I shudder when I think of the times I've said something that probably hurt somebody. But if we won't risk any mistakes, how and when will we ever learn and grow? How will we ever move toward liberty and justice for all? Our anthem is "I Dream a World" by Andre J. Thomas, words by Langston Hughes, and will be sung by Elizabeth Yass, Ann Mason, David Meharry, Liz Sevier, Tony Tasker, and Jamie Willis, with Rip Jackson on piano.
Of such I dream, of such I dream, of such I dream, of such I dream, of such I dream. dream, of such I dream, of such I dream, where wretchedness will hang its head, and joy attends the needs of all mankind. Of such I dream, of such I dream, of such I dream, I dream.
Now I invite you into a time of meditation and prayer where you can dream the world that is right for you and for others that you know. Will you take some time to listen to the beating of your own heart, to hear the sorrows and the joys that are part of your life today? And if you would, share them in the chat so that we can know each other's sorrows and concerns and joys, and we can bear them together as a community of faith.
Let us pray. In the flowering beauty of spring, may we give thanks for the earth that gives us birth and sustains us, for the warming sun and the life-giving rain. May we open our hearts to the blessings that surround us, the love and wisdom of people who travel with us through life, the dreams of children, the joy of sports and dancing and of walking through the woods, the glories of music and art. For this nation, which has called us forward toward liberty and justice for all, and for the faithful and courageous and resilient companions who lead our way. May we hold these blessings in our hearts and in our minds and in our souls to strengthen us for the days to come. Amen. And let's end now with singing hymn number 153, an African American spiritual with music and words that call us forward with their energy, their strength, and the wonderful word of persistence, stayed. Thank you so much. These words from Wendell Berry. The love and the work of friends and of earthly companions we do not know belong to the task we share and are its health. Rest and rejoicing belong to the task and are its grace. Let tomorrow come tomorrow, not by our will as the house carried through the night. Amen. And our postlude is Nocturno, Opus 7 for horn by Franz Strauss, with Eric Svensson on horn and Rip Jackson on piano.
Those who wish to attend a discussion of the proposed 2021-22 First Parish budget should stay in the main Zoom room, which means you will decline the invitation to join a breakout room for the virtual coffee hour. Have a pleasant day.